I've got a couple more products I'd like to show you today. I don't know how many people know much about my story, but it's been quite a lot of years since I've done very much sewing or especially quilting, and things have changed quite a bit. I also know that there's a lot of new quilters and probably some others that just haven't seen some of these tools, and there's some pretty cool tools out there nowadays. And so I thought I'd keep showing them to you. The first one I want to show you, well, actually talk about, because I showed it before but didn't talk about it at all, is my wool pressing mat. So this one is 14 by 14 inches, and I love them. They're great. It's fabulous to be able to not have to deal with an ironing board, to be able to just sit at my sewing machine, and if I'm working on a small project or something, or just some blocks, I can just turn right to the pressing mat and just iron away and keep going. So it's a lot more fun than any kind of ironing board, or I even used to have a little portable one that I would move around and could be near my sewing machine, but it's still not quite the same. So these are fabulous, and they seem to do a really good job. One of their selling points, they would say, is that it radiates the heat enough so that it's like pressing both sides at the same time. So anyway, wool pressing mat. The other thing that I've got is Frixion pens. These are totally new to me. This is an orange ballpoint Frixion pen, gel ink. They also come in markers. I've got a black one here, fine line black, and this one is kind of like a fine line ballpoint pen. I don't know if it's gel ink or not, but anyway, they come in lots of different colors. I know for sure these come in tons of colors, and they erase with friction, and heat is friction makes heat, so you can iron the marks right out. And I'm going to demonstrate that, but what I'm going to use is my little Creative Grids is the brand on this one, but this is a seam guide, and you can make really easy, fast half square triangles and use this to do that. So one thing, this is 9 inches, so you could use up to a 9-inch square, and you can put the front point right on the corner of your fabric. I've got a square here, I'm not sure how big it is exactly, but or I've got the middle lined up with my corners, and then you take your Frixion pen and mark on both sides. And everybody would have their preference as to what their favorite kind is, and what they want to do. You can also use these if you want to draw out some marks, design on your quilt top to quilt along the line, and then just iron it after you're done and your marks are gone. So I have drawn the lines on there, and what I would do then is I would sew down the one side, turn it around, sew down the other side, and this is exactly a 1/2 inch apart. So then, and here I've got one I already did the stitching on. You can probably see better the stitches on that side. I used white thread, and I did a really good job of sewing on the lines, so you can't see the lines very well anymore because it's covered up by white thread. But what you do is then you cut from one corner to the other corner, and you get 2 perfect triangles. Then when you go to set your seam, the mark disappears just like magic. And press it towards the dark. And you end up with two perfect half square triangles, and you never had to touch a bias edge. So there's that. I hope you've enjoyed it and maybe learned a little something, and we will keep doing these videos. And if you've got any suggestions on a product that you'd like to see demonstrated, let me know and I'll see what I can do. Thanks for tuning in.